was home alone, hunkered down in the basement with my two best friends, Mike and Alex. We were having an intense session of video games with our eyes glued to the screen. Outside, there was a storm raging on, with lightning occasionally lighting up the room through the small basement window. It was the kind of night that made you glad to be indoors. The power flickered once or twice, but then stabilized, causing us to exchange nervous glances. But our focus soon returned to the game. That's when we heard it. A faint tapping sound, almost drowned out by the storm, but persistent. We paused the game, looking at each other, each waiting for someone else to investigate. The tapping continued with a steady rhythm against the window. "Probably just a branch," Alex said with Will laughing, obviously trying to sound confident. "Yeah, must be," I agreed, but something in my gut told me it wasn't. I mustered the courage to approach the window, peering out into the darkness. Lightning flashed, and for a split second, I thought I saw a figure standing in the backyard. My heart skipped a beat, but when I blinked, it was gone. "It's nothing," I said, not entirely convinced of my own words. We tried to resume our game, but the atmosphere had shifted. The tapping had stopped, yet a heavy sense of unease settled over us. Then, out of nowhere, the power went out, plunging us into darkness. The only sounds were the storm outside and our own breathing. Mike fumbled for his phone, using it as a makeshift flashlight. "We should check the fuse box," he suggested. Armed with our cell phone lights, we made our way to the utility room, a small, cramped space at the back of the basement. The air felt colder here, or maybe it was just our imagination. I reached for the fuse box, opening it to find everything in order. As I flipped the main breaker, the lights flickered back to life with a relief washing over us. But our relief was short-lived. The sound of footsteps overhead made us freeze. Someone was in the house. We looked at each other with terror in our eyes. This wasn't a part of our plan for the night. We were supposed to be alone. Mike whispered, "Could it be your parents back early?" I shook my head. "They said they'd be gone all weekend." The footsteps moved with purpose, from one room to another. We huddled together, unsure of what to do. Calling the police seemed like the next logical step, but the fear of being caught in the act by whoever was upstairs made us hesitate. Then, an idea struck me. "The back door," I whispered. "We can slip out and run to Mr. Henderson's house next door." Carefully, we made our way to the back door, avoiding any noise that could give us away. As we reached the door, the footsteps seemed to be coming down the stairs. We didn't look back, pushing the door open and sprinting away. Rain drenched us instantly, but we didn't stop until we reached Mr. Henderson's porch, pounding on his door. When he opened it, his face morphed from confusion to concern as we stumbled over our words, trying to explain. He called the police for us, and they arrived within minutes. The officers searched our house, finding signs of forced entry through the living room window. But whoever had been inside was gone, leaving us with a haunting memory of our night alone. In the days that followed, we couldn't shake the feeling of being watched and not being as safe as we thought in our own homes. It was a grim reminder that real fear doesn't come from the supernatural, but from the very real possibility of danger lurking where you least expect.